What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NY Prepper. I just wanted to show you guys some 700 grain rounds that I got from my 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, and I've been waiting for a while for these to come back in stock, and they finally did, and I picked up a few boxes of them. And these are made by Underwood ammo. I've done a lot of penetration tests with Underwood ammo, and this is the 700 grain hard cast. It's a wide flat nose, and it travels at 1200 feet per second from a 7-inch factory test barrel, and that comes out to about 2300 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So I want to just show you guys how massive this 700 grain bullet is, and this is it right here. Look at how massive this bullet is, guys. This is just absolutely insane. 700 grains, okay? That is just absolutely monstrous. That's almost 2 ounces of lead, okay? You're talking about 1.5 ounces, actually. If you do the math, that's about 1.5 ounces of lead, okay? So this is basically as heavy as a really heavy shotgun slug, and it's just absolutely insane. Look at the nose profile on this bullet. It's a total cylinder. It has no ogive whatsoever. It's just a perfect cylinder. There's no ogive at all. And when I talk about ogive is just the curvature towards the nose. They call that the ogive. It's just a perfect flat nose right there, okay? And that flat nose is just like a sledgehammer. It just pounds its way through anything in its way. And I wanted to just compare this 700 grain bullet to some other bullets that I have here, some other cartridges. On the left here is my favorite 500 Magnum load, and this is the 440 grain buffalo bore hard cast, traveling at 1,625 feet per second. And this one generates 2,600 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. That's as much energy as a 270 Winchester or even a lighter loaded 30-06, okay? And just look at how much bigger that 700 grain bullet is compared to the 440 grain. I mean, it just makes that 440 grain bullet look tiny. And it's just insane how massive this bullet is, guys. Look at that. So I just wanted to show you this really cool, innovative design here from Underwood ammo with this bullet. I'm not sure who exactly makes the bullet itself. I don't know if it was a proprietary thing by Underwood or if there's some other company that makes this 700 grain bullet for them. So I'm going to actually do some videos with this 700 grain bullet. I'm going to test it against a variety of different materials. First thing I'm going to do is a penetration test to see how deep this thing can penetrate when compared to the tried and true 440 grain buffalo bore, which has impressive penetration. This thing shot through 8 2x10s. This is the best penetrating 500 Magnum load from a factory ammo. And this 440 grain load is the best penetrating factory load I've ever tested. And we'll see how the 700 grain bullet compares to that 440 grain bullet and see how the penetration is, what kind of weight retention. I'm going to do a separate video on that. I'm going to shoot some cinder blocks with this thing. I'm going to shoot some water jugs and some other things, whatever I can find. And we'll see how this thing performs, but I'm just impressed by how massive this bullet is. Here we have a 500 grain Hornady XTP. This one goes at 1425 feet per second and generates 2,300 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. And even this 500 grain bullet looks so small next to the 700 grain. Look at that. I mean, it's just absolutely insane how big this 700 grain bullet is, all right? And that 500 grain bullet is no slouch. So Absolutely insane. And then finally, I just want to compare this 500 Magnum 700 grain bullet to the 44 Magnum 305 grain bear load. Now this bear load is very impressive. This 300 grain 44 Magnum bear load is very impressive. I've gotten very good results with this doing all my penetration tests. So this is no slouch, this is no slouch, but compared to the 500 Magnum with the 700 grain bullet, I mean, it just literally dwarfs that 44 Magnum. It's literally like a big brother and little brother situation. Look at how much thicker the case is, the case diameter on the 500 Magnum compared to the 44 Magnum. It's just a huge difference in case diameter. And 500 Smith & Wesson Magnums, they actually use large rifle primers and large rifle Magnum primers. So these 500 Magnums use the same primers as a 7mm Rem mag or even a 300 Win mag. So that just tells you something right there. And but just look at the difference in size of these bullets here. You have the 305 grain 44 Magnum. This is also an Underwood load. Travels at 1,300 feet per second. Generates 1,100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. And here you have the 700 grain 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, and this one generates 2,300 foot-pounds. So literally double the energy and double the grain weight of the bullet of the 44 Magnum, okay? And just look at the size difference there. It's just absolutely insane. So I just wanted to show you guys this bullet here. And I'm going to be doing a lot of tests with it. And of course, I'm going to be shooting it out of my 6.5-inch Smith & Wesson X frame. I absolutely love this pistol. But what I want to do is I want to show you guys how long this bullet is. It basically goes, it goes all the way to the front of the cylinder. So I want to just show you how long the bullet is. It goes all the way to the front of the cylinder. It's almost flush with the front of the cylinder. Look at that, guys. That is just an absolutely insanely long bullet. Now, if you compare this 44 Magnum 305 grain, look at how much smaller that is compared to this 500 Smith & Wesson. And this is no slouch, all right? This is a load that I trust my life to when I'm in bear country, but it looks so tiny compared to that 500 Magnum cylinder. And look at this bullet, guys. So I'm excited to do some tests with it. Stay tuned to my channel for many more 500 Magnum videos. And as always, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.